I mean, it's just gotta be. Oh, Ivo. You know, Maria. That's like the best fucking line he has. Like, I don't know, not so much for him, just like, it's like one of the most, like, it's like one of the best parts of the movie. Fucking
I
potent
see.
line. What's your best chilled moment?
When he fucking dies.
The... Oh. Well, okay, my favorite video game Jared moment is just the line delivery of I went insane! I got afraid because I couldn't control my thoughts. I don't know, something like that. Like, I can't quite do it, but like something like the line delivery of that is really good. Just honestly, like, he has like 2 moments. Well, no, okay, no, let me think. Okay, how many moments does video game Jared have before Shadow Generations? He has, we have the diary, we have the firing squad, you know. So basically we have him monologuing or being shot. And then Shadow the Hedgehog has him turn up and be like... I don't like him in Shadow the Hedgehog 2005, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like how they made him fat for that one. I don't know. I just... I get a good try. I don't know. It just feels like at that point he's just a grey Eggman, you know.
It's like I'm getting like low frame rate out of my capture card for some reason.
I don't like the fuck. I don't like. I don't like how he just appears in the Black Comet on like a load of hologram screens. It seems really weird.
Yeah, no,
I don't like how after. And also, it's like really weird because like after that, it's like.
But suddenly you're like really loud and blown out. Did you get closer or something?
Nothing has changed at all.
Okay, now you're not loud and blown out.
I think maybe you were, maybe like, I don't know, maybe I was speaking loud. I'm sorry, I will never do that ever again.
I see. Also I was gonna say, this game loves to just introduce new mechanics, doesn't it?
Yeah, it likes doing that.
This is a very... or like gimmick level game, you know? Like every level's got its thing going on, you know? I like that when Mario gets hurt, not only does he lose health, he loses money.
This will be solved if you just use it like a little purse or something. Where like, you take pocket.
I guess Sonic should use a purse too.
Around as he walks about. Well, the Sonic's different because at that point it's like each ring is like a little bodyguard, and when a bullet is about to hit Sonic, they'll jump in the way.
Oh my god. These magic carpets are kind of annoying, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm digging this mechanic particularly.
I mean, you could get good.
Or they could have made a good game.
Have you ever considered sucking fruit juice?
Or you go down the ladder, you dingus.
I love how today we've mentioned
in this game. We've managed to what?
I love how in this today we've managed to mention the idea of a little dingus and a waffle dingus. What's I got to say? What was it? Oh yeah, when Wario crouch jumps, he looks like he's entering burger mode to me.
Burger mode?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were to hold Wario like a hamburger, he would be in this pose.
I see. Well, that was interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. I like the Game Boy
So what do you guys
Advance.
stream Wario World?
At some point. That could be fun.
You know, that's a way that Nintendo could really, like, get on people's good sides, is put Wario World on the Nintendo Switch 2 online. Because that game is very hard to emulate. I should know. I've tried. It just doesn't work right. There's too many issues.
Yeah, like, so the thing I was thinking about, I was talking about this with a friend recently, actually. Is that, like, a lot of people's, like, rebuttal to, like, the Nintendo Switch Online thing is like, oh, well, you could just be emulating that and stuff for free. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, there is some, like, I think the only thing holding it back, honestly, is just the poor release schedule, because, like, you can't discount the convenience that is afforded by, Nintendo Switch Online, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just load up the game and it just works, you know? It's so simple. Whereas, like, you know, when I was playing those cruising games on my stream, a couple weeks ago, it took me literal hours to get this set up correctly. But if I were to play an N64 game on my Switch, I just load it up and it just works. Like, sure, the emulation is maybe not perfect, but the emulation's not perfect on my computer either. And it takes a lot more work to get it going, you know?
That really is the tragedy of Nintendo and emulation stuff quite often, is that they have such an easy slam dunk. And they just don't do it. They just don't bother.
It's like, I think I would, like, literally just have praise for that service if it, you know, had everything on it, you know? Like, basically the only time I don't use it is when I have a game I want to play that's not on there, you know?
Yeah.
And also something getting put on the Switch just kind of motivates me to play it. Like, that's why I'm playing Wario Land 4 right now. It's because they put it on here, you know?
Mm.
Because that's the thing, is like, sure, I just have every game ever made available at my fingertips if I wanted to. But, like, that's, like, too much, you know?
Mm.
I don't feel motivated to, play any of that, because there's too much, you know? If that makes, I don't know if that makes sense, but... Like, historically, when I'm given, like, a collection by, like, from Nintendo, I'm much more likely to, actually try playing it, you know?
Yeah, I get you. Can I be honest?
Uh-huh.
Kiza is such a fucking good design. Like, it's always been one of the things that just always stood out to me about this game. Like, I remember, like, years after the fact, is fucking Key Ghost. But this is the thing that, like, I mean, I'm glad, like, it feels like such a magical combination of elements, the sort of bird-like features that result from, like,
I see.
just stapling it into a ghost. That's one of those things where maybe we should be glad that, like, you know, wasn't just brought back all the fucking time to play being boring. It still feels like something that could have almost been a franchise staple eventually.
Well, nothing was able to become a franchise staple because they basically stopped doing Wario Land after this point. There was only like one more, and there was Masters of Disguise. Everybody hated.
Oh, Masters of Disguise. I don't know what the fuck was happening in Masters of Disguise. Like, what the impetus was for that.
I don't really know much about that game, I just know nobody likes it.
For everything I've seen of it makes it seem very sourceless.
I see.
It's funny because, in a way it feels kind of like... It's kind of like the Chibi Robo Zip Blast or the Pikmin, whatever it was. What was the Pikmin one again?
Hey Pikmin. Okay, the
Or the
thing
Hey
is, I like
Pikmin,
Hey Pikmin though. I thought Hey Pikmin
Yeah,
was a good game.
so, I'm happy for you.
I disagree
But,
with people's assessment of that game.
Random miscellaneous throwaway platformer that isn't what people wanted from a series. But inexplicably for a series that already was a platformer series anyway, Oh no, Hey
I see
Pikmin's
what I gotta
probably
do.
alright.
It reminds me of it. I liked it because it reminds me of Kirby Mass Attack.
That makes sense.
Which I also like quite a lot.
Kirby Mass Attack is almost that for the Kirby series. I think. It's almost like...
But instead there's Kirby and the Rainbow Cars.
Oh.
That is the actual one of those for Kirby.
Okay, so I feel like it can't be... I feel like the fact that it's actually a HAL game means it can't take up the spot I'm imagining. It is the shitty one though, isn't it? Like...
I'm a bit fucked right now.
I just fucking...
Because these, they're not respawning. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Wow.
Okay, but how do I can't get this one though.
Are you sure you can't jump over the ground pound just on your own power without running?
Oh, I see. No, I don't need to do that one. Okay, thank goodness.
So that's this game that we play in Pizza Tower?
Yes, I've told you that several times.
No, like immediately, so like the next game on our list.
Well, I don't... Oh wait, no, I do have the game, because I have, family share with Sasha. I was gonna say I don't have the game, but, I've got the family thing. So I can play it. Just don't play it on the Switch too, because Nintendo says it doesn't work.
It doesn't? Wait, why it doesn't work?
It's one of the games listed as just not working on the Switch too, yeah.
How? What the fuck?
I don't know, like half the Arcade Archives library is on there too. And Doom Eternal. There's like some pretty, there's some pretty big names on there on the list of games that just straight up don't work. Kinda wild. I don't know what the fuck Pizza Tower did. Like, I don't know what Pizza Tower's doing. It gets it not to work on the Switch too.
Is Pizza Tower 2 a Game Maker game?
Yeah.
Are there any other games that are like not compatible with Switch 2?
I don't know. That's the only one that I recognized. Like, there may be other Game Maker games on there, but I wouldn't know. Just because I didn't, like, recognize them, you know? Here, but do you want to see the list? I can just send it to you. Why don't you... I'll let you just look at that. Switch to... compatibility list. Next update planned for May. Alright, Biz, here you go. Here's the list. Let me know if you recognize anything on there.
Oh, these are being investigated.
Yes. So, like, it's possible these will get fixed, but at the moment, no dice.
Okay, a boy in his blood retro cut. No, I'm not. Let's see. Astral Flux rings a bell. Baron, first gonna fly. Batman, the enemy of him. Okay, I'm not gonna name all these.
Yeah, I was just curious if there's anything you recognize. What are you giggling about?
Sorry, I just love the title Crazy Strike Bullet. Crazy Strike Bullet EX. Just a funny name. Final Fantasy?
Yeah, there's a Final Fantasy game in there that doesn't work.
Kids vs. Pet. Kill la Kill If! No! I've never actually played it. I do want to try it though. I like it. Kill la Kill is a good series. It's very hard to recommend, but it's a good series.
I noticed like a good handful of the games are like things that are like emulation based.
Oh, that makes sense. Pizza Tettia, please tell us on here. Checkbox Party Pack 1 and 2?
Yeah, Jackbox is on the list of games that didn't work.
Trip World. Oh yeah, Trip World! Load up Travis Strikes Again, no more heroes!
So as is, we can only hope that these manage to get fixed.
Here's hoping.
Like, keep in mind, they have had like 15,000 plus games to test.
Is 15,000, more than 15,000. Well, I think most of them are just probably mobile phones on fucking each other. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Oops.
I feel like the Nintendo Switch is like the exact like worst level of content curation.
Yeah, I talk. My next video coming up on my channel talks about that more. I've already talked about it a couple times on the channel, but I go a bit more in depth in my next video.
Because I really want to stress like a place like itch.io that allows everything. That's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
A place like Steam that allows everything that's a reasonable product. That's good, right? A place that literally only has like a curated list of good things. That's good, right? Nintendo Switch is the worst case scenario where it's like
Nintendo Switch has become like the Google Play Store, basically, is what I compare it to.
Well, no, because like the Google Play Store, couldn't we publish a game on the Google Play Store if we tried? With Nintendo, it's still a walled garden, but it's a walled garden of shit. You know, that's the problem. Is it's like it's hard to get a game on there, but then they allow garbage anyway.
It's not hard anymore, based on what I see on there.
Okay, put a game on there then.
Well, I don't have the stuff required to do that.
Well, exactly. You don't have the fucking stuff required, do you? Exactly. Forehead.
Basically, the reason that there's so much of that stuff on the Switch is that the Switch uses like basically mobile hardware. So it's extremely easy to translate a mobile game into a Switch game. Because the hardware is very, very similar. I think the...
Yeah, Gray Area was given like the Studio 1.4.
What?
The best game, yeah, Gray Area was Game Maker Studio 1.4. The best Game
Yeah.
Maker Studio.
Yeah, not only do I not have the software for it, I don't have Switch Dev Kit either. And also, you have to go through. Also, to get on Nintendo, you have to get rated by the ESRB, which costs like $800.
Can I just specify that Gray Area specifically comes from like a special version of Game Maker Studio 4, where Elena like missed the last update they did, and because she missed the last update, like the GUI layer works properly still.
No, it's not the GUI layer. It's the application surface.
Oh, whatever it fucking is. It's in the draw GUI event. That's all I care about.
It's not in the draw GUI event.
No, it is GUI. But it affects GUI stuff.
Well, I'm not using the GUI layer for my GUI.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm using the application surface for it because I could like set it to the same resolution and stuff, and also it was just kind of more reliable.
Okay, whatever's going on, Elena has a version of Game Maker which does some things very slightly differently.
Yeah, they literally they removed, like in the update, they literally just removed the ability to draw directly to the application surface. Like they just removed that specific feature.
Which means that like whenever there's like a GitHub project that everybody's working on with Elena, we all need to account for the fact that the final versions will work on Elena's Game Maker logic, not ours. And then when we run it from our end, we end up having like GUI elements that are just stuck at the beginning of a stage and they never scroll with the camera.
Yeah, because they're drawing to the room's coordinates now instead of the application surface coordinates. And I've done that method. Oops! I've done that method in Super Climb Up as well. Which will probably be the last place that I ever use that, because I'm moving on to Studio 2 after Super Climb Up.
I hate Studio 2 and I will never use it.
Well, you'll use it if you want to keep making games with me.
I'm never making games with you ever again.
I'm also probably going
to... You can figure out how to...
I'm also probably...
going to...
Okay, well I have plans to make like one last game in Game Maker, which is gonna be my next one, and then I want to see if I can move fully to Godot.
What's Godot again?
What do you mean, what's Godot again?
Yeah, which one is that one? Which one is that later? What's my memory? Why won't you tell me?
It's Godot.
Pretty sure it's Godot.
I think it was Callie the other day was just commenting that you just hate silent letters.
They shouldn't have showed up. They weren't gonna contribute.
They're usually like that because those are words taken from other languages.
Mm-hmm. Well, we translated them wrong then. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, like... I was, like, wondering whether that might end up being an issue at some point.
I always end up just copying. Like, I just take all of the files from Game Maker.
Why are you admitting this on stream?
I put them in, I put them on a flash drive.
Why are you admitting this on stream?
Whatever I've needed to, like, install it on a computer.
Why are you admitting this on stream?
Why not?
Because I don't know, it just seemed like you're tempting fate.
I mean, I talk about, worse stuff I've done in terms of software things on stream. Like the fucking WeMart thing and everything. I've like thoroughly explained how that works on stream. In fact, I found out about that thing from a YouTube video, so like if there was a problem, I think it would be affecting more than just me.
I think that's like slightly different though, because that's like it's not tied to like, oh, it's just prune juice. You know, it's not tied to your business. It just feels different,
but like,
you know?
I do own the program. I bought it.
Yeah, but like, in the terms and service, it says kill yourself. But I think we really need to like take care of these companies in regards to that sort of stuff, you know. Like, there needs to be an erosion of corporate rights. And they should just, you know, to the point where people don't end up asking stupid questions. Oh, am I allowed to use a program I own?
I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, they're doing your favorite trope, is the fire and ice in one level together.
Everybody does it. Everybody fucking does it. Because everybody independently thinks they're being so fucking clever. But yeah, literally today I was daydreaming about a scenario where we get in trouble for that, right? And I was like, well, at that point the question is just... Yeah, well, I was walking home, okay, so I had to think about something. And my thought process basically ended up being, okay, well, at that point, we'd have to be well known enough that they were like checking, right? And at that point, you probably just go to Twitter and you probably just at the founder of Yo-Yo and say, hey, and then you have like a screenshot of all your licenses you own. So I own several. Like one of them's from fucking Humble Bundle. Yeah, but like I'd have several of them and I have screenshots of them and I'd just like at the fucking founder of Yo-Yo and be like, hey, excuse me, why are you giving me grief when I own the fucking software, dingus? And then at that point, if we're popular enough that they've checked, we'll hopefully have a load of people who will send them death threat. I mean, constructive criticism, and get them to stop.
There we go. I did that. I had to be very, very careful.
You have to use a little bit. Oh my god, Elaine, you have to use a skill solution.
Solution. I missed one of the gem pieces, or the cheese wedges, as we're calling them, in this area. Actually, no, they're not cheese anymore. They're blue now. What are they now?
It's blue cheese.
Okay, but blue cheese isn't like blue like that.
Maybe yours isn't. I've got the good stuff.
Sasha eats a lot of blue cheese. It kind of just looks like ranch dressing.
Maybe it's the stuff that like they make the little switches from Marble Garden Zone using. In Marble Garden Zone, you have like the blue wheels, and then you spin against them, and they go boing, boing, boing.
For a second,
and then if you like spin dash on top of them, you bounce.
I was like, huh? Oh, there it is.
I think Game Maker Studio 2 went back on changed to a subscription service, I think. How the fuck were they handling that anyway? Because I had bought it on Steam before then.
If you bought it, then you got to keep it the way it was.
Okay, that's right.
It was just new customers. It was now a subscription.
Yeah. I unfortunately at this point cannot refund it. I now own Game Maker Studio 2 forever. Which will forever be like...
Well, I want to use it. Give it to me.
Well, too bad. No, it's my Steam account. Fuck off.
I'll add you to the
That's where my stomach
family
is.
library. I'll add you to
I
the
think
family
we've ruined family library stuff. I don't think you can do it across region anymore.
Oh no. Also, I don't think Game Maker counts in it. Or I would have it from Sasha. Damn it, I'm gonna have to play this level again.
Yeah, I think they should have added to Game Maker Studio 2 to make it better.
My ass? There should be a big picture of my butt in there.
Where? Where there?
It's in there.
What do you... It's in there, dude. It's in the binary file?
You just see it, you know? You run a program when you see it.
But like, is it like the background of the software?
It's in there. I can tell you that much. And it's visible. It's the splash screen. Which is now, of course, renamed to the ass screen.
I was thinking, I think if I do another photo mode, I'm not gonna use surfaces for it.
I see.
I think I'm literally just gonna have a fucking DS grid of every fucking pixel.
Oh god, Biz, no! That's so fucking inefficient!
No, it is, no, because it is efficient though.
No.
Yes, it is.
It literally is not.
It literally is, and then I'm gonna... It's gonna make programming all the pens more interesting.
It's not. The way we did it works so elegantly, though.
Yeah, but you have all the issues of surfaces disappearing if you resize the window. I don't like it.
But I fixed that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but now I've got to do.
No.
And
I figured out color pick. Like, it has all the features you need, Biz. It literally does. There's no reason to program it in this stupid ass way. It would already work, and you could just add more things to it.
It's more fun. It's more fun this way.
This is what I have to deal with working with them on game stuff.
It's because I have a true passion for the technicals, Elaine doesn't.
No.
Elaine's just like, just do whatever fucking makes the game, you stupid bitch. And I'm like, Elaine, why are you calling me these things?
I didn't fucking say that! This is being, and I quote, a little stinky right now. This is being stinky.
You do whatever makes the game, you little stinker. I'm like, well, why do you call me mean things?
Why is this your impression of me? What does your impression of me sound like this?
It's just my favorite. Okay, let me do your voice proper then. Why do you make me sound like this? You little bitch.
Thanks.
Oregon's a beautiful state and it's not made of flesh at all.
Fun. Also, it's kind of funny. You're like the only person who, like, thinks that I have any sort of like Valley Girl accent. Because I've like asked other people and they're like, no, but I don't know what the hell this is on about. You don't sound like that at all.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're talking like one right now!
And then you like really exaggerate it when you do an impression of me.
Yeah, because I have to exaggerate it to bring out the funny.
I feel like you have to exaggerate it to bring it out at all.
It's hard to do an impression of somebody's actual normal voice, you know? That's the reason why voice actors who want to, they'll sometimes use their own voices for a character because it's like, oh well, they'll never replace me if I do this, you know? Because the impression of a person's real speaking voice will never be as nuanced as the original.
I see.
I say, you see, that's what you sound like. Other people just don't notice it because they're also fucking American.
Oh, okay.
And they sound the same, but they just don't pick up on it.
I've had a few different people be like, no, you don't sound like a Valley Girl, Elena. You don't have that accent at all. I don't mind if I do have that accent, because I do live, like, adjacent to Southern California.
Yeah,
So
West
it's
Coast
like-
again. I love the amount of difficulty you were having fitting Wario's ass through that hole.
Freeze fit. Fucking badonkadonk.
Okay, please don't. Never say that phrase ever again.
Why not?
It just... It doesn't sound right for you, please.
What do you mean it doesn't sound right? Let's
It's
just police
just
everything Elena
happening.
says today.
Yeah, let's do that. I can't call this stinky. I can't say badonkadonk. What even is there for me to do? Okay, I gotta be honest, it's pretty bad. The impression's getting worse. It's getting worse every time I do it. Just 'cause I'm getting lazy. I'm getting lazy, so this point's I am actually just hoping to just an impression of the accent rather than you.
Wow.
Well,
I'm gonna do this fucking part again.
imagine if there was a piece of clothing called a cardigan. It's just
Part
like a
cardigan
cardigan.
and part
It's like
something else.
part Wario Land 4 stage. And Wario is trying to escape the cardigan.
There we go, I did it. I'm so smart and talented. And everyone loves me.
That is also true, everybody does love me.
Everyone loves me and thinks I'm so cool. And nobody hates me. Nobody could ever hate me.
I hate to say it, Elena, but there's actually, like, many people who have devoted their life entirely to hating.
No.
No. If you put no weapons. No.
Just imagine me doing that face from that one Bugs Bunny image where he goes, no. Imagine that, but me.
Oh my god. Oh, there was a post I saw today that was like, it was a post, it was a post I saw where it's like somebody who's a teacher to like very young kids was telling them about 9/11 or whatever, right? And they showed the footage of George Bush being told about the like attacks, right? And in the middle, when they had that close-up of the aide, like whispering to George Bush's ear, one kid just yells out, "That's where the meme's from! What?"
I was gonna say,
I think it's really
did they recognize the meme?
Yeah, could you imagine being young and being like, wait, I've been sharing a picture of like...
A historical event?
of a huge tragedy? Yeah, it's so wild. Because that's so much of what growing up is about. It's just about realizing that the world is woven in pains you never knew. That the world you
Did you see
live in
Wario just there?
scars.
He was like...
Yeah,
did the cutesy little anime girl double peace sign thing. Beautiful.
I think it's really fun. I think it's really funny coming from Wario because you know it's like a peace sign, right? But Wario is not an altruistic man. He's the sort of person who would do the double peace sign and say, "Go fuck yourself."
I think it'd be great if a cute anime girl did that, and also we're still like, go fuck yourself. I think that would be some great energy.
Now I'm just thinking about the bunny again. I love you, bunny! Go fuck yourself! I appreciate bunnies a slight bit because of you now. Like, you put them on my radar. I still don't think I'm really super big on them, but they're alright.
They're not intelligent enough for you.
Yeah, and they just sort of like,
they're too much
they have
just
loose
a creature.
I shouldn't have worded it that way.
Loose anuses, Jesus fuck.
I mean, they just, okay,
just
they're just ambient kisses. Just constant, you know. It's like sweating for them, like...
Wow.
You understand how I got there, though. You understand my point, it's like loose lips. The phrase,
loose
you know.
lips.
That's the thing people say, you know.
Yeah, I know, I'm just laughing that that's where you got...
Okay.
That was the through line. That's fucking incredible, Beth.
No, yeah. Thank you.
I don't know why there's like these little executioners running around everywhere. This is an interesting level.
It's a platformer, Elena.
I know, I'm just commenting that that's an interesting enemy design. For a funny little Nintendo game. Executioners.
I can't believe execution penalty exists within Wario's world. Oh, you better not touch the tiles of different palette. Oh no.
I will either survive.
But you'll survive in a state identical to when you first entered the room, probably.
Imagine Nintendo does like Wii Online and releases like a Nintendo Switch compatible Wii remotes.
That would be pretty funny. Imagine if they did Wii U Online and released fucking nothing.
Yeah. That would be really funny because you would like have to get the controller.
Yeah.
They would never do this, but you know what they should do is they should make it compatible with the original like Wii U, because gamepad controllers are like on a slow like death, you know, or eventually they will all stop working. And it's one of those things where it's just like the console cannot function without this thing, and it's like so specific, you know.
Yeah.
There were like no third-party gamepads, you know, like there was like nothing. It's just the gamepad or nothing, you know.
Yeah, Elena. When are you gonna stream Star Fox Zero?
I guess we could eventually do that because that game is so fucking inexpensive.
I feel like if you don't play it, you're not really, you're not really getting the Wii U experience, are you? To quote Meryl, Star Fox Zero feels so inextricably tied to the gamepad, it's almost as if it congealed within the disc slot.
Wait, let me read this. I was discussing with a friend last night about the Wii U and like where it went wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go pull up my messages. So I like listed a bunch of things that are really funny that it did wrong. Oh yeah, so I was talking about how like the gamepad, like most of like the asymmetrical multiplayer. Huh?
Ruby.
What?
I say how good Ace Attorney Ruby.
Oh yeah, yes. I was talking about how okay, so most of the asymmetric multiplayer they did on the Wii. Also, here I'll bring it over as a prop. Here's the gamepad. So you could think about this while we're thinking about the Wii U and the gamepad. But okay, so I say all the asymmetrical multiplayer they did ended up being just sort of like glorified tag, right? Like it was all just kind of variations on tag is all they seemed to come up with for asymmetrical multiplayer. Which had already been come up with years prior with Pac-Man Versus on the GameCube.
Tag doesn't even feel like a good thing for asymmetrical multiplayer because, like, in Tag, both players run. They do the same thing! They do the same thing!
Yeah, but you have slightly different views of what's going on. I guess.
No, you don't. I've never played Tag in real life. You don't have a different fucking view.
No, I mean on the asymmetric or on the Wii U. That's how they made it different.
They had to invent a reason that Tag is asymmetric. Right.
And I was talking about so they seemed to struggle to come up with things to do with the gamepad, right? To the point where eventually it was basically just being entirely dropped. Culminating in Breath of the Wild, where the only thing that's ever on the gamepad is just telling you that you can play the game on the gamepad if you want. And that one was especially funny because basically all of the mechanics in Breath of the Wild seem to be meant to be done in real time on the gamepad, but had to be retooled at some point once they realized the Switch was going to be the console they were going to target for this game.
I mean, you don't know if they were retooled, Elena. I mean, for all you know, they were just like, I think this game would be approved by 2,000 Apple Meal in freezing time. Midway through, boss. I think this game would be improved if, while sliding down a hill, getting road rash and concussions, Link could eat several dozen apples to survive the rest of the fall.
But yeah, and they were like, what a fumbling. And I was like, that's the whole Wii U in a nutshell. Like, Zombie U, for instance, had some incredible ideas and fumbled the whole thing by putting them in a terribly placed linear adventure instead of a more open-ended survival experience like it would have clearly benefited from being. And it also included cheap jump scares for some reason. Like, on top of the fumbling of the game mechanics, they're also like, let's throw in some jump scares for good measure. How about that?
You know what? It's really sad that we didn't get a fucking game design. Okay. You know what game series would have worked fucking perfectly on the gamepad, but we didn't fucking get it?
Yes.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
They could have made a devoted Five Nights at Freddy's game. That was all about actually having to move your focus from one to the other. and they didn't fucking do it. It's literally a game about sitting down with a screen on your lap. I'm going to kill Scott Cawthorn personally.
Then I was talking about one of the Wii U's launch titles was Tank Tank Tank, which was a port of a pretty simplistic and short Namco arcade game, and it added basically nothing but sold it for full price, right? So for like $60, you're getting like a 10-minute arcade game. The new Mario game the Wii U released with was a 2D platformer that did basically nothing to show off the Wii U's new processing power or differentiate it from the Wii, since the art direction was like completely identical to New Super Mario Bros. Wii, right? It just, like, literally they advertise it by showing New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U, and they're like, look, it's HD now. Which is one of the reasons why people thought the Wii U was just like a Wii thing, right? They're like, oh, look, that's the same game. It just looks smooth now.
That's all the Actually, everything we're talking about just makes me keep thinking about that fucking Meryl video. Because, like, one of the things he brought up is the fact that, like, Nintendo had this binary idea of, like, tech specs where they were like, well, people didn't like the Wii because it wasn't HD. Which have the exact same thing, but with more resolution. That's better, isn't it? So they made a system that was, like, fucking less powerful than the Xbox 360, which was 7 years old at the time. Like, look, it's HD.
So yeah, and then it has like a stupid tacked-on gamepad gimmick of placing blocks. That's what they came up with for New Super Mario Bros. U. You place blocks.
Okay, to be fair, I actually went to an event in London, and I got to play that game early, right? And it was, oh my god, I just ruined everybody's time. I was the one on the gamepad, and I just wouldn't let anybody...
And I was saying...
Every wall pipe was like cat. Everybody was saying blocks and falling into...
Wow.
People waited in line with me for like fucking God knows how long, like half an hour. That's like, what? Lock in! None of us gets out.
I will admit it's funny. But I feel like it's not super interesting in the long run.
I feel like the fact that the new Super Mario Bros. Series already had an object you could place in certain locations to annoy people and kill them, and that was your own player character.
It was
so it didn't need like.
And then I was thinking about by the time the Wii U started getting some like worthwhile games, it was too late, right? Because people had already like dismissed it, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, you have like Yoshi's Woolly World, you have 3D World, you have Mario Maker, you have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, you know, stuff like that. Didn't sell very well because
a load
they
of
were
games.
on the Wii U.
A load of games that just would have been better on anything else.
And then were because they sold significantly better on the Switch. With the exception of Yoshi's Woolly World, although they did accidentally tease that game seems to be coming to the Switch. Or maybe it was purposeful teasing. I don't know.
It's so sad that they went from Yoshi's Woolly World, which everybody I used to have a friend who was a big Grumpy Puss, and even she was like, "Oh yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World is fucking incredible."
It is a good game. It's got a great soundtrack.
They went from that, and then immediately afterwards they go to Yoshi's Crafted World.
I liked that game, but I thought the soundtrack sucked.
It's just amazing how they'll just be like, okay, well, just like these people must have fucking heard it. They must have heard the fucking music, and they were just like, okay, well, it's fine.
It's just the game has only one song. basically. Also, the thing I always remember about that is that the composer for Yoshi's Woolly World was extremely salty about it. And like his entire feed for a while was just him like, retweeting people who complained about the soundtrack in Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh my god.
He was just like, if they'd kept me,
god.
it would be like this.
I hate to say it, right?
Uh-huh.
I hate to say it because, like, you know, he's a piece of shit, right?
Uh-huh.
But, like, this person behaves the way that Alex Yard thinks everybody does.
Unprofessionally.
Yeah, like, this is actually slightly unprofessional to be a bit mean about, like, the fact that they replaced you as a composer.
He was really upset that he got replaced. Like, you don't even know. It was like his entire personality for a while.
Have we ever talked about Alex Yard on stream, by the way?
No, well, because I found out about him in between streams.
I've had, like, a more complicated situation, because, like, I've been a fan of his, like, actually good work on his other channel for, like, the longest time.
Uh-huh.
And I was there for the fucking bullshit where he, like, turned on Toby Fox and then got really defensive, right?
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was, like, his thing is, I thought that was, like, a one-off. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was, like, you know, this was, like, him, you know, having, like, a, you know, like a mixing up a little or whatever, right? I wasn't aware that he's just a weird little man.
Did you see the stats I found for his channel? Where like at first
yeah.
he got a lot of attention, and then for like the stuff that people actually liked, like you mentioned, and then he immediately pivoted into all the bullshit, and then he's gotten nothing ever since. And now he's like, his subscribers, like he's averaging -2 subscribers per day.
Good.
Like, all the comments are just about, like, I subscribed for, you know, the music stuff. And then you started doing this. Like, there's like, I saw quite a few that were, like, begging him to, like, reconsider his actions. And then he always defends himself. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not being a douchebag or whatever. Somebody might have called him, you know. No self-awareness.
Absolutely fucking wrong.
He believes he's completely in the right out of, like, all of that stuff. Which, I guess makes sense, because that's why he posts it in the first place. You know?
I'm still kind of tempted to, like, try and piss him off on purpose. It'd be so funny. Like, I would just, you know, I make a video where I just do the same thing he does to other people, right? Like, down to everything. Like, even the part where I pretend I'm a... Yeah, I do the sentencing, yeah. And I do the part where I'm like... And I do his voice. I try to do a very bad impression of his voice the entire time.
Situation.
Which is...
You gotta say that. That's the most important one.
At some point, there will be a situation. But most of it is talking through his teeth. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, and at some point, like, I would have to do the thing where I, like... He has this thing he does where, like, towards the end of one of his fucking rambles, he'll always position himself as, like, the betrayed fan who's standing up for the fan base, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, it's not fair. You know, he'll come out with a stupid conspiracy theory about Toby Fox, and he'll be like, this is really unfair to the Untail fans who deserve to not have to worry about this. It's like...
Oh, there's a recent one he did where he was accusing somebody of writing their videos with AI. But then he spends the entire video...
AJ refused.
Yeah, he spends the entire video not giving evidence towards that, but instead just complaining about the writing style.
I will be honest. Okay, can I be honest for a second? So I hate, you know, I hate seeing myself in Alex Yard, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not easy. But, like, you remember when he, like, said that, like, he took aim at the fact that the completionist just sort of says shit that, like, is, like, you know, he doesn't proofread his own script.
Uh-huh.
Just sort of comes out with stuff that doesn't make sense. You know I've said the same stuff before, right? I think that Jay's reviews is kind of like, you know, on a similar tier of just like, you know, it's not exactly well written.
Well, people were just taking issue with the fact that he was, like, positioning it as, like, oh, is it written by AI? And then the video is actually just, he's complaining about the writing style.
Yeah. Is a silly clickbait thing too. especially since like AI, as weird as it is, right, okay. AI AI never has problems like the sort of stuff you see in J reviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
AI doesn't write sloppily. It writes perfectly with no meaning. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, AI is very good at, like, making an elegant sentence that has no value. Or no
I
meaning
saw
or
a post
whatever.
on Blue Sky last night that was just talking about, like, research. So, you know, it's often, you know, people will talk about we don't know how AI stuff works exactly, right? Like, it's kind of a black box, just sort of by nature of what it is. So researchers have been trying to, like, actually study it and figure out how it works, right? And, like, figure out how smart exactly it is. And they've determined it's not smart at all. And it's essentially...
Wow, what a surprise.
It's essentially the same thing as a predictive keyboard, but with more processing power behind it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also, not only that, but the output that it gives is like there's another layer on top of it that is just sort of like it's like that's like directly human made that sort of like tailors the output, you know. It's like it's only coherent as it is because of human involvement.
Imagine if
they were like
involved...
saying like you can't teach it to do it like they're trying like they're studying it like okay, what happens if you try to teach it how to play a game or you know stuff like that, intelligence test stuff, right? And like it can't do any of it. Like it's just not capable because it doesn't actually think.
Yeah, that's the reason why you can't like. That's the reason why AI can't make jokes.
They call it a bag of heuristics. That's all it is, essentially. And also people were saying like it's funny because like that's just sort of exactly what you intuit just from like looking at it, you know? Like of course the science supports it because it's intuitive to interpret it that way because that's observably what it's doing, you know? Of course that's what researchers would be finding about it because it's just kind of blatantly obvious that that's what's going on, you know?
I actually overheard a conversation at work the other day. That was somebody who's like it was like some sort of tech admin for like a council-run service, and they were talking to a friend about how their boss is like, "Oh, we're gonna get AI going. We're gonna replace everybody with AI." This guy was just trying to like politely explain to their boss that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Incredible.
It's all just garbage. It's all just fucking nothing.
Yeah, like saying you're gonna replace stuff with AI at this point is like saying you're gonna replace stuff with your phone's predictive keyboard.
Yeah.
And also they were saying like, and that is technology that has existed since the 1980s. Like we know how to do that. for decades now. And this isn't doing anything different, it's just doing it more inefficiently, essentially.
It really makes me wonder, like, what the... Like, if... It makes me wonder what the process of creating genuine intelligence will eventually end up being like.
Well, yeah, I've thought about that before. I've thought, like, you know, we're just really going about it the wrong way. In fact, I've thought about before that, like, I'm not sure that the way that we do computers is going to be capable of doing that, you know? Because computers are not set up the way our brains are, you know? I feel like we need to come up with, like, a computer architecture that is more similar to how a brain works.
Something that is literally less binary. Something that's more, like, free-flowing.
Like, you know, neural networks are inspired by the way a brain works. But they're not exactly the same, you know? Like, there's various reasons why we've gone for binary computing, right? But it's not necessarily, like, the only possible way to do computing, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the one that we've come up with so far, and that has worked well for us so far, you know? Like, that's the thing, is that computers only outdo humans at certain tasks because they're faster, right? Like, a lot of the things that computers do is more inefficient than the way our brains do them. But we're limited by our speed. Whereas the computer is not.
So it's not Caliborn drawing the circle, then. If you know what I mean.
You mean like SpongeBob?
No, Caliborn drawing the circle.
I don't know who Caliborn is.
I've told you this like 25 times. You've failed the test for getting divorced.
No. No. I don't know what to do divorced.
We're getting divorced
forever.
No! I'm taking Sasha in the divorce.
What?
I'm taking your house.
I'm taking your wife in the divorce.
Your Switch. Yeah.
That's an incredible quote. I might post that later. I'm taking your wife in the divorce.
Oh. You got all of the Marble Gardens on Switches.
Alright, let's just raw dog this boss. I'm not gonna bother with the mini games this time.
Why? Why did you? What? Don't call it that, please.
Everybody hates when I do like sex jokes. The response I always get is like, "Don't say that. Don't call it that."
Elena, you're just saying you're gonna fuck the boss. There's like no like look at that thing. You're fucking this now. That's what you said.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
No.
Oh, I see. You can stand on top of the wave. Kind of.
I think you gotta, you know...
There you go. Yeah, I knew what I had to do. It's just kind of hard to pull off from that little platform. Like that there's just randomly this little submarine as like a deterrent from staying in the water. There's nothing to do with what's going on, it's just there. Pure game mechanic being. Being a pure game mechanic. Me when I'm the little deterrent during the boss fight. I bet you do a good job being that, Biz. You also do well. You
Okay,
also
put
do a
me
good
in
job
one then.
being the boss too. You can fulfill
Yeah.
either role.
It depends how many spoons I have that day.
He's bald now. Now what? Oh, I probably have to ground pound his head now. Yep.
I like these little gordoids that are coming out of their head.
The Gordoids.
Like they got little, yeah, like they got little tongues going.
I think this boss is easier than the one we did last time. I'm having a less difficult time with it.
Well, that's the thing. I guess that's the nature of a non-linear experience, is that you might end up facing Springtron first by mistake.
You fuck off with Springtron.
Would you fuck off playing as Springtron?
You know what? Just because you complain so much, no. I'm gonna play as him every time now. Either gonna learn to fight against him, or perish.
Oh my god! You know what the most tilted I've ever been in like a video game is?
Was it playing against me as Springtron?
No, that's second. You know what first is?
What was first?
It was at AGG. It was at AGQ. I was playing with Lizstar.
Uh-huh.
Lizstar, the streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept playing as fucking Bowser in Smash Ultimate, right?
Uh-huh.
And this was like a thing. She had already been doing this shit, right? And this is a tradition where she would play as Bowser, right? And she'd go up against me.
Looks like Upstream will finish the game.
She would get one stock ahead of me and then just Bowser side repeatedly.
I see.
You know, with the grab thing?
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know you could influence the direction of it as the person who's out.
I see.
So I just thought it was just the like cheapest thing humanly imaginable. Like it's just this unbeatable strategy, right?
So you were pulling at me.
Turned to her. Yeah. So I just turned to her and said, they should implement a new mechanic where if the game detects you doing what you've just fucking done, Master Hand pulls Bowser out of the character select screen, twists him, snapping his neck, and leaves his body rotting at the bottom of the menu for the rest of the time.
Wow.
Like, I was genuinely fucking angry, and then I think it was Arrow was like, "This, you could influence the direction of or somebody around me was like, "This, you can like, depending on how much stock you've got, you can like influence where the attack goes." Right? I'm like, what?
I see.
But yeah, her Bowser still fucking pissed me off. I think several months after that, like we were playing online, and I just made a Mii character that was just called Bowser Killer. Just a character designed to kill Bowser, do nothing else.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a good time on the stream today. I know I did. I played some really good games today. I'm a big fan of all three of the games I played today.
I hope everybody's enjoyed what we're getting at. If you get a chance, go hate watch some Alex Yard. God knows he needs the views.
Right, he's got like he's got many times, I think he's got more than 10 times the amount of subscribers I have on my racing channel, but he gets about the same amount of views. So...
It's so funny, because like drama videos feel like the perfect thing to like farm rage off, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think the views would be like higher than the subscribers? But no.
Nobody even wants to click on them.
He's behaving like a grifter and is still penniless from it.
Yeah, thank you all. I'll be back on... I don't think I'm going to stream on Saturday, because I think that's when we're going to a wedding. So no Saturday stream next week. Might do Friday
He's getting
instead.
married.
Sasha's brother.
He's getting married. Oh, why?
I don't know why. Whatever reason people usually get married for, I guess.
Love, money, tax breaks.
Sure. Anyway, Thursday I'm gonna play more World of Goo 2. Maybe
Defeat the great evil.
maybe I will try to finally finish Secret of Mana as well. I might throw in more Paper Mario Color Splash next week. There'll be more Super Woden GP. And I might finally start the PlayStation Ridge Racers. And plus we got more Wario Land 4. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Thursday, I will try to finally finish Security Breach. Oh, if Sasha has a day off.
Security bench.
At some point when Sasha has a day off, we'll do that. So, that's coming up. And I hope you all look forward. See you soon.